Okay, so I ended up going to this different church that I changed to with a friend, and we both were kind of going through some stuff. The message definitely spoke to us in a way that a lot of messages, like, yeah, like they could speak to you, whatever, but I was kind of shocked because this is just what I needed. I wanted to share a little bit about what it was about, kind of about the in-between. Genesis 2:8 says, "The Lord God planted a garden in Eden in the east, and there he placed the man he had formed." And it's such a small verse, but it spoke so much because it's talking about how God's intention is. This is his perfect intention of the world, and like how he created the garden and Adam and Eve and all this stuff. Not the world we live in. We live in a world of loneliness and fear and anxiety and shame and all of this stuff. We dwell outside of the Garden of Eden in which God had intended for us. And we see so many of God's intentions throughout the whole Bible. Like I can get into like a list, like when it talks about the tabernacle. I personally love like reading the Bible, but when I got to Exodus, a lot of it was really boring. I'm gonna be so honest. Did not like reading it because this is all, like, I didn't get any notes from this because it's all measurements. While talking about the tabernacle, there is so much that goes along with the tabernacle, and these are just like all of this is the measurements and instructions of it too. And then there's also the whole story of like testing of Job and like taking everything away, all these intentions for Job, testing of Abraham and like the sacrifice and like what are you willing to give up for God. All of these intentions in the Bible that I can get into, along with like the ark and just so many more. There's just like a whole thing for all of them. I feel like we can be so quick to judge our neighbors for their intentions or their struggles and what they're choosing to do with their lives. Now, I'd say this is called the in-between. And the in-between is kind of like when you are at a really low point in your life, when you are struggling and you are trying to gravitate to whatever is like comfortable and whatever is familiar because you don't know what else to do and you're struggling. So it's kind of like a stop dwelling on the past because you cannot change the past, and dwelling on it will always just make it worse at the end of the day. Focus on God and focus on reaching for God. And it says in the Bible that he's close to the brokenhearted. He's crushed for those in spirit. He's never the one to leave us. He never goes away from us. We are the one that go away from him. So when I wasn't reading the Bible for like a really long time, until recently opening it up again and struggling and all this stuff, I noticed I didn't feel him anymore. I was getting depressed again and I was going through all this stuff again. But it's because I was drawing away from him. That when I started opening my Bible more, I felt him more. I felt like this love and this peace and this happiness that I didn't feel at all when I wasn't. It's the first question that God asked Adam after his own failure in the garden. It's the very first question because he doesn't ask what have you done? He asks, where are you? Where are you? So instead of like self-shaming and overthinking, he explained like, just ask yourself, where are you? God didn't attack him. God didn't say, what have you done? Like all of this stuff and judge